All right, for any of you new people that this is your first time joining us, I'm Aaron Singleton.
And I'm Claudia Sanchez. Thank you for being here.
Yes, and we want to share our Egyptian experiences with you and help you prepare for your journey to Egypt this year. And some of you know that we have been to Egypt 3 times in the last year and a half. We were just in Egypt a little over a month ago and had some fascinating experiences. And every time we go back, we get more and more downloads. We get more and more inspiration for products and healing. And some people ask, why do you go back to Egypt? And why don't you go to India? Or why don't you? And it's like, well, for us, Egypt is the place. We get so much information. We get so much love from the land and the people and everything. So for right now, we're just going to be going back to Egypt. So that's great for those of you that want to go with us.
Mm.
Okay, so we're going to start tonight by talking a little bit about your first few days in Egypt. Now, what Ruth Schilling, the owner of All One World Tours, what she likes to do is she likes to get us a local hotel, nice hotel. So it's not a Hilton or a Marriott or something like that, but it's a very nice Egyptian hotel facing the Sphinx and the pyramid. So when you get up in the morning, it may not be out your window, but when you go up on the roof to eat breakfast, you are looking directly at the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid. And that is the a beautiful way to start your day. If you're up there early when the sun's coming up, you actually, just get the sun coming from the east, and you're looking at to the west, and you get to see the sun rising on the pyramid and the Sphinx. So it is a great way to start your first few days. And we will be doing some talks and some channeling, some healing, whatever, in those first few days at the hotel in the mornings, like after breakfast, things like that, as we see fit. And then we start our journey. So one of the things that gets overlooked is the Valley Temple. The Valley Temple is something that we go into before we actually go to the Sphinx. And it's I don't know, it's a 40 or 60 by 60 room, uh, pillars and granite walls. And at some point, there were statues along the west wall, and they were all removed, of course, and put in museums or taken to other countries or whatever. But the thing is, the Valley Temple gets overlooked. The Valley Temple has powerful healing energy, and especially if you are on that west wall, standing near or on the spot where the statues were. So make note of that in the Valley Temple, you don't just walk around and say, oh, looking at the granite and how did they put these, 500-ton chunks of granite here. No, there's energy there. So that's one of our things is always try to help you understand. Use the energy of life, use your intuition, stand where you need to stand, and receive what you need, starting out from the very first place we go. Now, from the Valley Temple, there is a walkway that goes from there all the way up to the pyramid, to the Great Pyramid. And off to the side, to the right of that, you're looking down at the Sphinx. So again, as you're walking up, I remember stepping on a piece of alabaster that's part of the walkway, and the energy being so strong that it literally wants to spin you in a circle. But everybody's just walking past so fast that they don't pay attention. So you want to pay attention to every step of the way as you're going up this walkway or coming down it. And like I said, when you get up there, everyone's lined up along the wall and you are looking down at the Sphinx. And that is where you're going to be going later. You're going to be going down from a different direction. You're going to be going down some steps and walking down to the Sphinx and having the opportunity to touch it, to stand, sit between the paws, to walk around it and feel the energy. Um, so from the Valley Temple, let's go ahead and go to the Sphinx. So when we were walking down the steps to the Sphinx in 2024, I would say half, three quarters of the way down, Claudia had this song come in, and she literally almost missed a step because the energy was so strong, and she started singing in Lemurian, and this was a uh, welcome back or welcome home type of song. And of course, she'd never sang in Lemurian before, so that was kind of a interesting treat for all of us. But it was literally, yes, that the Sphinx and the Lemurian energy there was welcoming her back. And that turned out to be a little something with the security and the guards and everything, because they they didn't want you singing out there in public in front of everybody. But it all turned out well.
Well, we had to pay some people off, so we
Turned
took
out-
care of it.
Turned out well. They got paid. That's
I
the way-
worked some of that.
That's the way things work. So once you're in the enclosure for the Sphinx, let's see, one of the things that historically, going back to Edgar Cayce, so back in the 1930s and 40s, when he was channeling, in front of the left paw. So if you have a picture of it, or go online, get a picture of the Sphinx, out in front of the left paw, down about 3 stories deep, is said to be a room or rooms that not control, but a room where the records, ancient records, are kept. So this could be papyruses, could be stone, tablets, whatever, no one knows. And you can feel the energy without going down there, because nobody has found the entrance as far as I know. But if they have, they've already taken everything out, but the frequency is still there. So, everyone is so enamored with and wanting to be between the paws. So if you go out in front of that left paw and just kind of walk around and feel, you can find out where to stand, and you can receive the information from those rooms below the paw. And like I said, not below the paw, but in front of the paw. So, all right. But of course, walking around the Sphinx, you may be drawn to, I know there's a spot on the outside right paw that I was drawn to several years ago, to stand there, and I received a lot of information. So all around it, there is the possibility of something for you if you are supposed to receive it. All right. And of course, we all sit between the paws. We have a little quiet time. We take some photos. They, I don't know how long ago now, but it was not like this when I was there in 2009, but when we were there in 2024, they really didn't want you meditating and praying and things. So we have to be a little sneaky.
Discreet, yeah.
Sneaky. She says discreet, I'll say sneaky. Same thing. If everyone takes a notepad and you just look like you are doodling, drawing, writing, and at the same time you can be kind of a little bit meditative, praying or whatever you like, they won't bother you. But if you stand there and you're very obvious, then they get upset and they don't want you praying or meditating. So the notepad really works. So we have quite a bit of time, over an hour total, that we will have between the Sphinx paws, and a very special energy there. And we hope everyone receives what they need from that. Now, the next thing And I'm not, this is not all one day. This is the first few days being there. So then there's also the ride up to the Giza Plateau. Now, the plateau itself is beyond the pyramid. So you're looking back at the pyramid and looking back at Cairo. And of course, this is where you get the opportunity to ride a camel if you like. Now, granted, camel rides are not, you don't get to just grab the reins and take off through the desert like you would horseback riding. You have someone that leads the camel. So you just kind of get the riding and the kind of the rocking experience of being on the camel. And you get your photo and everything taken. And for those of you that don't want to ride the camel, you can stand beside the camel and get a photo.
And try not to get spit on. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm just kidding.
luckily, no one got spat on the last time we were there. But yes,
They're fun.
they're fun.
Yeah.
And so we won't have the opportunity to see any baby camels, but if you ever get a chance to go to a petting zoo or somewhere and they have baby camels, they are like puppies. They run right up to you and they want you to pet them. They will push each other out of the way like puppies. Of course, they're 7 foot tall at that time, but they're still babies. So, the camel ride is a lot of fun. Now, then we have an afternoon where we go into the Great Pyramid. And when we go in, we usually go in, let's say 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so that we can, when we come out, we're coming out at dark or after dark. It's a very special feeling coming out, and the whole Giza Plateau is kind of shut down, and we're the last ones there. And there might be other groups going in after us, but you really don't see them. And so the climb up the outside is not a very rugged climb. And then we go in, and there is the Grand Gallery. So please look at some pictures of the Grand Gallery online. Ruth may have some that she can share with us. And it's a nice uphill climb. You do want to do a little Stairmaster before the trip to just get your legs in shape for that. Since we'll be all following each other, it's going to be kind of slow. It's not like, hiking up, just everybody running up a mountain trail or anything. And we go up there, and then we go up to what's called the Great Step. And they've actually put some steel rungs coming out of the granite that we can climb straight up the Great Step. Then we go through another space going towards the King's Chamber itself. And what we would like to do right now is to bring you the energy of the King's Chamber. So we're going to let you feel the energy of the King's Chamber in the space that you are in right now. But first, let's bring everyone together with the energy of life healing process. So some of you may not be familiar with it, but this is the process that came to me from Egypt in 1994. And so we'd like everyone to turn your palms up on your lap, arms up your chair, sofa, pillow, wherever you are. You could be laying in bed on your back, it doesn't matter. But turn your palms up. And as you do so, we are sending energy into your palms. You might feel some heat, tingling, pulsing, pressure, whatever energy feels like for you at this moment. Think of your arms like they are straws. And as you inhale, you draw the energy up your arms, all the way up to the top of your head. Exhale it down through your entire body, all the way out your feet. Each continuing breath, you're drawing the energy up the arms, all the way up to the top of your head, exhaling it down through your body and out your feet. For those of you that have done this before, might only take 2 breaths. Others, it might take a couple more because the energy might have to work its way through some densities of energy, some stuck energy, emotions, or whatever in your body. But it will go through everyone. this energy of life healing process was given to me by Spirit, by Egypt, in 1994, long before I went on my first trip. Well, my first trip was in 98, so not that long, but I was being prepared to go in 94. All right. So everyone feels like everyone's got the energy going through to some degree. Don't be too concerned if you don't feel it in your body or at your feet right away. It will continue. I would say it will open things up as it continues. Now, the room that you are in right now, we are going to do a little activation of the frequencies, and we're going to turn that space into the King's Chamber. Now, what we're going to do here with our Ankh, when we flip the Ankh upside down, we have the pyramid. And as we bring our thumb and finger together in the middle of the Ankh, that is the King's Chamber. And then we are sending that frequency of the King's Chamber to you in the space that you're in. So your living room, your dining room, your bedroom, wherever you are right now, TV room, whatever it is, we are bringing in the frequency of the King's Chamber. Now, the King's Chamber, we have a picture somewhere. It might be online, or it's definitely on the packaging for the Journey Stone. And the Journey Stone is all about Egypt and the King's Chamber and traveling, time and space and everything. So it's a drawing that I did from a photo that I took. So it's got the sarcophagus in the middle near the back wall, and it's got a picture of the back wall, all granite, and that is a portal. And that is something that when we are there, you can journey through to receive information, guidance, whatever, just wherever you need to go. But as we are sending the energy, some of you will be able to access that portal right now, because remember, we're putting you energetically in the King's Chamber, so everything is the same as if you were there. Okay. So what we'd like is just a few comments. What does it feel like with that energy of the King's Chamber right now? So you are there, but you might notice what changed in your space around you. What's different?
Go ahead, Nell. Go ahead, Nell. Nell?
I just immediately felt the word came amplified. It's like I was just expanded out to forever. My physical being was huge.
That is because it helps connect you with the oneness, being in the King's Chamber. All right, perfect.
Thank you. And you folks don't have to raise your hand. You can just let us know.
I know I was feeling like pressure, right? Feeling the energy on me, but it wasn't threatening pressure, right? It almost felt good.
Good.
I felt very peaceful, but then all of a sudden I got a vision of a lot of things that are underneath the Great Pyramid. and Giza Plaza. I had a
That's
quick
great.
visit, quick vision. Yeah,
Write it
shafts and,
down.
yeah.
Write it down and tell us what you found.
That's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
Well, it was shafts and secret rooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great.
Thank you,
So
Susan.
remember, you can journey there. You know, you don't have to. We don't have to dig a hole in the ground. You can you can hold your ankh and you can journey there.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Thank you. Karen?
When you said there's a portal there, as soon as you said that, I felt a lot of energy in my third eye and a lot of light coming in. So I feel like I was receiving stuff. I don't know what.
That's great.
Great.
Love it.
Yeah, because we do this because we want you guys to start experiencing things before you get there. Some of you will get so much information, now that, well, let's say you get half of what you need before you get there. Because if you get there and you get overloaded and overwhelmed, that can be uncomfortable.
Mhm.
So we want you to, journey there now and have as much of an experience as you can. Thank you. All right, someone else?
Hi, it's Amy.
Amy?
Hi.
Hi.
So when we first did it, I felt a really sharp, from my heart up to my throat, really sharp pain on the left side. And then that started to dissipate. And then when you said portal, for some reason, I don't know what this picture is, but if it's true or not, I saw a man that looked like a priest that was taking, like, I would have to assume it was papyrus or leaves of some sort, and just fanning smoke. And it was almost like cleaning the space. So it was very interesting, and I haven't seen that before, so I don't know what he was doing, but it seemed like he was keeping it, maybe even preparing it for something. I don't know. But
Yeah,
The ceremony, yeah.
preparing it for you when you get there.
great. Sage it up.
And when you get there, and the thing is, you're already there because we've already got the energy of the room around you, so you are there already.
Mm.
Cool.
Yes. All right, that's great. Anyone else? Okay, so the King's Chamber is said to resonate at the perfect note of A. Now, I don't know anything about music and notes and everything, but if you multiply the length and the times the width of the room, and then you divide it by the height of the ceiling, you can find the frequency of the room. So this is not only the King's Chamber, but this is any room in any house. So you have to take in account for vaulted ceilings and all of that as far as volume and space, but that is a fact that the length times the width divided by the by the height will give you the frequency. And that frequency resonates in a certain part of any house. And you can find, like, that room exactly where to sit or stand, and you can feel it. So that is something that when we're in the King's Chamber, you can feel that frequency go through your body.
So the frequency isn't throughout the entire space. Are you saying it's more concentrated in one spot?
If it's your room that your home, it would be concentrated in one spot. In the King's Chamber, it is the entire King's Chamber.
Mm. Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's just do it.
All right. So Claudia's going to talk to the King's Chamber. Just going to check in here.
Ground.
Good.
Spring circuits.
Good.
Energy fields.
Good.
Blockages.
None.
Okay, BP. Yep. Do you have clarity? We do. Heart. Yep. Do you have clarity? Yep. Part A blessed by God. I. Okay. All right. By my will, with the power of the Holy Spirit, and with God's blessings, I hold the intention to speak to the King's Chamber. King's Chamber, do you hear me? All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for considering to coming to visit Egypt, to visit the King's Chamber. The King's Chamber has been around for a long time. Much of your history books, your Egyptologists, don't really know the true history behind the King's Chamber. The King's Chamber goes far, far, far back, way before even the civilizations that you are aware of. It was created before even some of you might know of Lemuria. Some of you might know before Lemuria there was Mu, and there was two civilizations before, and that's where the King's Chamber began. So that runs about roughly 65,000 years ago. Okay. Why was it created? It was created for ceremony. It was created for an opportunity to expand intuition, to expand consciousness, to learn about the spirit realm, the land, the planet, all of that. It was a place for, for all sorts of types of ceremonies. Okay. I'm just slowing down because I'm just relaxing, Claudia. All right, good. So, yeah, some of the things that were done there may not have been what would be seen, I guess, barbaric in the times now, but it was done with the intention for enlightenment, okay? And as all times and all people in all ages, we are always learning, exploring, even if it doesn't mean the means of exploring to be logical, right? So, and then it evolved over a period of time, more highly advanced civilizations, Mu, Lemuria, Egypt, they're all Egyptian, Kemp, all of them used the King's Chamber, again, for ceremony, but also to bring forth frequencies from the extraterrestrials. Confirm, sister. Yes. Am I speaking to the King's Chamber? Mm-hmm. Are you the King's Chamber blessed by God? I am, child. I am. Mm-hmm. So there was a big time, large time, where people were communicating with extraterrestrials. And they, how can I say, they lived in harmony in a sense, to work together, to learn from each other. All right. Now, a lot of the structures, the temples, the Sphinx, a lot of them were created by the Lemurians. They were masters of levitation. They knew how to lift a 10,000 pound stone, no problem. They did not have difficulty in this. And they were actually a big part of creating a lot of pyramids around the world. There was also the the extraterrestrials, they assisted with some of the pyramids and some of the structures. But most of it lies on the Lemurians. They were very peaceful, very loving, very heartfelt people. And they showed a lot of what they knew to Camp the Egyptians. Some of in that time, it actually sorry. Check me.
So good.
All right. Are you the King's Chamber blessed by God? I am, child. Just relax. Anyway, so a lot of the information was taught to the Egyptians and they continued it on. Okay. So when you go there, you are in a really high frequency energy to be able to delve into some of your inner, how can I say, some of your inner self that wants to heal, that wants to remove. Some of you here have things that need to be let go of. Things you have picked up from your family, anger and some sadness and feeling of unworthiness. And that is a perfect place to see and go inside. If you know what it is, to ask the King's Chamber, what is it that I need to do to heal this? What is it that I need to do to let go? All right? And if you don't know what it is, go inside and ask, what is it that I need to heal? What is it that I haven't seen or don't want to see that I need to see in order to let go? Because first you need to know that there's a problem. Why is it that you're not happy? Why do the same things happen to you over and over again? Why do these patterns happen? There is something that needs to be healed. Why do you get triggered? All of this is an opportunity to heal at the King's Chamber. But yes, there are secrets. And you also have an opportunity to get downloads. You can ask to receive downloads for what is for your highest good. For if you were to receive something that you're never going to use, then why have it downloaded to you? You understand? So be very clear when you're there with what is it that you want? What is it that you need assistance with? And again, always say for your highest good. Right? Does anybody have a question? All right, so I can't see the screen right now, so just go ahead and talk if anybody has a question for the King's Chamber.
Is the King's Chamber in that area of the highest frequency?
Yes, it has had a past where there were times when it was not, when there were initiations, when there were some sacrifices going on there. During those times, the frequency was low, okay? But when the Lemurians came, they cleared it and they raised the frequency. So it is of the highest frequencies, yes.
So one of the things that you can do right now, because as we have you in the frequency of the King's Chamber, is ask, with the EOL process flowing through you, ask to receive from the King's Chamber what you need right now, whatever's for your highest good. And you can start receiving now. Now, the sarcophagus that is in there had a lid that was hermetically sealed. So that means that once the lid was on it, it was airtight. And one of the things that they would do is put people inside as part of ceremony, initiation. and the person had to survive in an airtight sarcophagus for a certain period of time. And of course, some people survived and some people panicked and did not survive. Um, Graham Hancock, who has done a lot of research inside the pyramids, has discovered etchings on the walls that you can only see if you shine a flashlight down the wall. And so take your flashlights for that.
Different questions. I can only hold for a little bit. Okay. Is there anyone else that wants to ask a question before I stop this channel? No?
Okay.
Okay, let's stop. King's Chamber? Yes, child. We are done. Thank you.
Okay. So using the EOL process, you can intuitively, divine where you need to stand or sit. We will have a half an hour of total darkness where we turn the lights out in the King's Chamber and a half an hour darkness and meditation. It is fantastic. So as we are walking around in there, I mean, easily 40, 50 people can be in there and all be sitting comfortably on the floor and not elbow to elbow. So as I have said that, about downloading what you need or what frequencies that you need to feel right now, what are you feeling being in this frequency for the time that you're in it now? Does anyone have anything to share about any insights, information, or anything that's already being downloaded?
So I had mentioned this to you before, Aaron, about how every time I envision myself walking in to the King's Chamber, I see myself placing my hand on the wall and having an overwhelming release cry, right? And that's what was coming to me now, but I'm not release crying anymore. Now
Okay.
I'm like, this is how it's supposed to go, right? I was seeing a version, a possibility, but now it feels this is exactly what's going to happen. So that was really good.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Okay. Anyone else?
I can say something, and I don't know if this will make sense, but you said to ask for what you need even now, if I could, or ask for the highest and best good. It keeps coming to me that I know that I was in Lemuria. I know that I was Lemurian. I've known it for years. And it keeps coming to me that in some way I may have been there before, especially as a young person, very young. And previously, I haven't had a lot of memories of Egypt at all. But previously, I have seen myself at the left foot of the Sphinx, barefooted, and there's sand, and the sun is warm, and there's like a welcoming feeling.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Maybe we were there at the same time.
So Claudia's welcoming song that she had there, we basically, through her, were identified that the Sphinx was 36,000 years old. And so there's a lot of opportunity to be there with your feet in the sand. So yes, you were there. All right. Anyone else?
Thank you.
How is it feeling right now?
Hi, Amy. Heart heavy, understandably, kicking up a lot of stuff, asking for what I need to clear it out. so that I can actually enjoy when I get there.
Mhm.
That's
Great.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I hope you have been using the pyramid, the cardboard pyramid design that we shared with everyone, you know, the 3-inch base, 6-inch sides, and the algorithms to connect you with Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, because that little pyramid doesn't seem like much, but it's very powerful. And sitting over that, it can take you inside the pyramid. The frequency coming out of the top of it, which is kind of like a Kundalini spiral coming up through the body. And when you say the activation codes, it can actually, you know, really powerfully take you right back to where you are now, or where you're going to be in the pyramid. Now, of course, when we are there, um, before we get there, before we go, maybe on the day before or whatever, we will give everybody the activation code, and everyone can say the activation code inside the King's Chamber, and you will get even more from it. So that will be, again, something that we like to offer that says, you know, here you are, now here's your key, and your key is your activation code. So practice that with your pyramid. All right.
Could you share what the activation code is right now to use the pyramid?
The activation code to use inside the Great Pyramid will be given when we get to Egypt.
No, I'm talking about the ones we just built, the 3-inch and the 6-inch.
Oh, it's a 3-inch square base,
Yeah.
6-inch sides. That is, I don't have it, but it is on the website. We've already sent it out in the newsletter, and it is on, where else do we have it?
Well, it's mainly on the website.
On the website for
All right, I
every.
must have missed it. All right, I'll go back.
Mhm.
Look under the Egypt section and on the
Okay.
bottom.
Yep.
And it'll be on the bottom. Yes.
And if
Okay.
you don't see it, just let Margaret know and she'll get it to you.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, I had a question. You had mentioned about bringing flashlights.
Yes.
So
And,
is there a list for the group that's going on what to bring, like a packing list of flashlights or just do's and don'ts of what to be aware of ahead of time, like what not to do, maybe when
Well,
you're in the King's Pyramid or just on the trip, like you mentioned a couple things already, like don't overtly look like you're meditating,
okay.
those kinds of things. Do you
Can
have
I-
a preparation list?
There is a list. Ruth Schilling
Okay.
has a
Yeah,
list
there's-
about
there's a-
flashlights.
There's a page on the website called Getting Ready, and
Okay.
it has a whole list of things that that are suggested for you to bring. And then there's also a packing list that you'll be getting that will have, you know, all the kinds of things that you want to bring with you. Okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you email me, I can send you that packing list ahead of time if you'd like.
Yeah, I know there's like packing lists, but also tailored to anything on the spiritual side or, between you and Aaron. I don't know who's
Things on the spiritual side will be coming from Claudia and I, and you will get
Okay.
them in plenty of time. Don't worry.
okay.
It doesn't make any sense to send you things this far in advance that actually are not helpful. They can actually get you confused. So
Okay.
some things will only be given to you when we get to Egypt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Eric.
All right. How is everyone feeling in the King's Chamber? Because I know some of you being kind of quiet.
I just get a lot of spurts of energy, like I feel them often in my gut. So I just feel like I'm getting things that I can't interpret yet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Fair enough, because
Mhm.
that's the way it is. A lot of times it's just get what you get, journal it, and some of you will be starting your journaling, tonight if you haven't already, and and it just continues and gets better and better.
Yeah, and also don't be surprised if you start having visions. I mean, if you start dreaming. I had a friend who started getting, she just said, okay, if I'm meant to go, then go ahead and send me, some type of sign. And literally, she just kept on getting all kinds of, she saw Egypt on somebody's license plate. She was like, okay. She's had like 3, 4 signs. She's like, I guess I'm supposed to go. But also it's an opportunity for you to connect um, with that time that you were there. So you may not remember, but the feeling is very familiar since we had just had that experience in being in the King's Chamber. So memories might start coming back because a lot of the information, like I've mentioned before in the past, is that your information is in your bioplasmic field. So everything is in your bioplasmic field. So your experiences in past lifetimes. And so sometimes what has to happen is it needs to wake up. And when you are in a frequency that is familiar, or how when you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I feel like I've known you forever, and then you find out, oh, I've known you in a past lifetime kind of thing. It's that your bioplasmic field is resonating with that frequency and remembering. Okay. So if it's for the highest good, you might start might start having dreams or having feelings or remembering things, and just be open to it. Just be open to it.
And using the energy of life process, you can ask the energy of life process to show you things, to help you understand things. The energy of life process has a consciousness, so you can talk to it, and if you can quiet your mind, you can hear, but not just yes and no. The energy of life process can carry on a dialogue just like we're carrying on with you right now.
Mm-hmm. And also the energy of life process can help you get to a point where you're able to also communicate with your bioplasmic field, because then it can share all the knowledge that is for your highest good. I mean, it can teach you just about anything and everything. And that's what, for us, going back to Egypt, is to be able to expand our intuition and receive, the blessings that that God allows us to receive, and then use them and bring them back and help people heal. But your path might be, who knows, for everyone it's different why you're going.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, for us, it's different every time we come back and we heal something different, or we receive something, So it's that kind of thing where if you're just open to whatever it is that you need, and be willing, and to set aside any fears. That's what I had to do, set aside a lot of fears. I had a lot of fears, and I set them aside, and I just, now I just want to keep going back. So, yeah.
So remember, ask the energy of life to show
Can I
you.
say something?
Sure.
Go ahead. No.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt you. I just have to say, for a long time, I knew I wasn't ready for Egypt. I'm not ready yet either. But I've had a lot of fear around it because I know what my purpose is in going there, and there's a lot of releasing and change that is ahead of me. And what I feel right now in this King's Chamber as we sit here is amazing to me, because I've always had this sort of protecting myself from Egypt, and now I feel love.
Mm,
That's what I feel in the King's Chamber.
that's beautiful.
Great.
I don't know why. I don't know anything.
Well, it's because that is the frequency of Egypt and of the King's Chamber. So there's nothing to be afraid of, and it is helping you feel that and be a part of it. So it's like you can be one with it before you even get there.
Mhm.
It's like going home.
It moves me to tears because it's such a relief. to be embraced by something that I have been fearful of. But there was a lot in my past, so
Well,
yeah,
a
I'm
lot,
getting
a
ready.
lot of
Thank you.
a lot of people first experience in Egypt is a lot of crying and reconnecting with home. When I first flew in '98, as the plane banked to come in towards the airport, I looked out the window, saw the Great Pyramid, and started crying. And it was like I felt like I was home. Okay. Claudia had a similar feeling that she was home, and a lot of people have those type of experiences. But this is again, this is why we want to have these talks and share things and prepare you for any of you that have any fears or doubts or whatever. Let's get those out now so that you're going home,
Yeah.
going to a beautiful place.
You know, I had the same experience with Australia and still do.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Thank you, Nell.
thank you.
I have a question that's not related specifically to the King's Chamber, but just this feeling of needing to. I brought it up to Margaret actually today when I talked to her on the phone about needing the feeling I need some kind of protection, especially while I'm in the sleeping, that I always wake up in a lot of pain and I'm not quite sure, what happens in the sleep state. But it's got to be, somewhat meditative. And I was deriving that I needed some kind of metal, and I came up with copper, and then it was like wearing like copper anklets. And then I was remembering that in India they do that. So I Googled, Egyptian copper anklets because I wasn't sure if that was part of the culture or not. And I was just trying to feel like maybe something like that would help me in particular for protection at night from, I don't know, whatever it is that I feel can be harmful, like when you're in that state,
Okay.
whether it's aliens or I don't know.
One of the first thing that came to me back in '94 about the gold cuffs on the arms and the gold bracelets and everything. I looked at that and saw that there had to be some significance, so I made some out of copper back then. And I found that when I put the copper on my wrist, it actually helped make my energy stronger when I was sending energy out. But also if there was any noxious energy of any kind, emotional energy or whatever that was coming off of a person when I was doing healing work, it would come hit my hands, but it would stop at the copper. It would not come into my body. So they used gold. Now these days we use copper. We can't afford gold, but copper works the same way, and that was one of the things that they did. Now, if you're having something like that happen in your sleep, then you're processing emotions. So that's really not that you need something. So it is, looking at use the energy of life process and ask what it is that you are processing in this way in your sleep, and then use the energy of life process to guide you to the healing. Okay. So to give you a little heads up, you are processing sadness. So use the energy of the process to help you process that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, so any of you that have not met Ruth did pop in here for a little bit, and Ruth has personally been on over 70 trips because it's her company and she believes in being there and making sure everything is right for everyone. So everyone say hi to Ruth and say thank you because she's the one that puts this all together for us.
Hi, Ruth. Thank you.
It's so much fun to actually see some faces because I've been in email contact with a number of you. And now, like Sally and Suzanne and Nell and Anna, you
And
know,
Bob.
so it's great. Amber, I had sort of met before. And of course, Amy and I go way back, right?
We
20
do.
years.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, yeah. So good to see you too.
All right. So all of the information pertaining to anything specifics of the trip, Ruth has done a great job of putting all that on paper. Sometimes you just have to go to her site and read a little bit more than maybe what you've done already, but she is happy to answer emails and things and help you in that way as well. But I've been with Ruth.
And we've been working on getting people's flights. Most of the people have already got their flights and stuff too. So, if you haven't got your flight yet, you might want to, get so you're coordinated with other people from the group. It's just more fun to do it that way. And, it's always nice to have somebody to watch your suitcase while you run off to the ladies' room or something.
Yeah.
So.
That's
And
what I do.
I'm also going to be, we did this tour 2 years ago, and so there's a tour book that comes along with it where you can see each day what to do, and the first 10 pages or so has tons of different information about getting ready and everything, and that is available now. But I'm going to update it with the new dates and a couple of little tweaks that Claudia and Aaron wanted to change from the last time. So that should be done maybe within about 3 weeks. And I'll be letting you all know that. And I think that Amy might help me with a proofreading if she has time. So
Yes, my very anal nature would probably be very happy to.
oh, that'd be just great. That's
Yeah.
just great. I have that
Yeah.
type too, but it's really hard to proof your own stuff. So
It is. Your brain gets used to seeing the same thing.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll get that as part of your tour as a book, a paperback book from Amazon. And then I'll also be giving it to you as a PDF that you can keep in your phone, and you can also, send it to friends or family or whatever so they can follow along if they want to while you're there.
Mhm.
So any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me an email.
Yeah.
I was
So,
wondering if we could do introductions right now tonight with just everyone just kind of introducing themselves, whether or not they've been to Egypt before, or
Well,
just
we
to
can
get
do
to
that.
know each other a little
We
better
can-
before the trip.
We can do that at an upcoming one because remember, we're going to be doing quite a few of these between now and the trip. So right now
Okay.
our time is up. But remind us of that. And yes, that is always something good that we can do something really short and introduce. But also, anyone that wants to connect. Let Ruth know, and she can share your email or whatever with other people. We don't just put it out there and say here's everybody's email. But if that is something that everyone would like to do, then that is something that can be done to have that you can have the ability to connect in that way.
Can I just add in here too? When the time gets closer, what I have been doing for, I don't know, I think we did it for your tour also, is we have a WhatsApp group. And that's very helpful because we can use it during the time in Egypt as well. And beforehand, I send, I'll put a message on that WhatsApp group whenever there is an email for you. I'll put the different PDFs like the packing list and that kind of stuff. So that way you always have all of that stuff in one place. And then when we're there, it's great because we can share photos. You know, I mean, people will get pictures of you and they can put it on that, and like that way we can all share easily. So that'll be coming when we get a little closer.
Are there certain cell phone plans that's probably part of your packing list? Like if you don't have an international plan that you'd recommend?
Yeah, if like Verizon and T-Mobile and those, they have these international plans that you
Okay.
can have. I think they're like $5 a day or $10 a day while you're there.
Okay.
Or you can, if you have an unlocked phone, you can get a SIM card and use that while you're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, our time is up. So your frequency that you are in right now, the King's Chamber, will remain with you. If you feel right now that you would like it to remain in the space that you're in for the next 15 minutes, you state that out loud that you would like this frequency to stay for the next 15 minutes. If you'd like it to stay for the next 5 hours, state that out loud. Because remember, everything has consciousness and your voice is frequency, and you can communicate with consciousness. Now, for some of you, you may not be able to sleep in the King's Chamber. So if you do that and you say, okay, I'd like to be in this energy for the next 5 hours, and you realize you can't sleep, you can always use the energy of life and say, energy of life, please remove this energy from my sleeping space. Thank you. And it will be removed. So you're learning how to work with consciousness. We're going to do a lot of that on as we prepare for the trip. So with that, we would like to say good night